Two men, two nations, two flying fortresses that cost more than small countries. When the President of the United States steps aboard Air Force One, the world watches. When Vladimir Putin climbs into his presidential jet, the details stay hidden. One is an American icon, a symbol of power projected across continents. The other is a Russian enigma, built in secrecy and draped in gold. Both aircraft are more than transportation. They are command centers, sanctuaries, and statements. This is not just a comparison of planes. This is a battle of philosophy, engineering, and supremacy at 40,000 feet. To understand this clash of titans, we must examine each fortress on its own terms. Strip away the rhetoric. Forget the politics for a moment. Let's start with the aircraft the entire world recognizes, the one that doesn't whisper but roars. The American Fortress. It begins with a roar. 4 General Electric engines, each producing 56,000 pounds of thrust, ignite in sequence. The ground trembles. Air Force One, a modified Boeing 747-200B, rolls forward. Nearly 800,000 pounds of American engineering preparing for takeoff. This is not just a plane. This is a statement. Painted in iconic blue and white, the livery designed by Raymond Loewy in 1962, it's instantly recognizable from any tarmac on Earth. The call sign Air Force One isn't about the plane itself. It's about who's inside. The numbers tell a story of scale. Length, 231 feet. Wingspan, 195 feet. It's a giant, even among giants. Range, over 7,800 miles without refueling. Enough to fly from Washington, D.C. to Tokyo without touching ground. Cruising altitude, 45,100 feet, higher than most commercial traffic. Inside, 4,000 square feet of space across 3 levels. The aircraft carries its own baggage loader, its own stairs, its own everything. Independence is the philosophy. American presidents don't ask for permission. They bring their own runway. But this machine is more than metal and fuel. It represents transparency. Unlike many world leaders, details about Air Force One are public, documented, celebrated. The world knows its shape, its cost, its capabilities. This openness is intentional. Power doesn't hide when it doesn't have to. But while America broadcasts every detail thousands of miles east, a different doctrine governs the skies. Where one nation publishes specifications, another buries them. It's time to meet the aircraft wrapped in secrecy. The Russian enigma. Now shift your gaze eastward. Moscow, a different kind of power. Vladimir Putin's presidential aircraft doesn't have the same global fame. By design, Russia's leader flies aboard an Ilyushin IL-96-300PU, a quad-engine widebody built entirely on Russian soil. No Boeing, no foreign dependency, pure domestic engineering. The exterior is clean, almost understated. White fuselage with the Russian Federation's flag painted near the nose. No flash, no Hollywood glamour. But beneath that reserved surface lies something far more complex. Details are scarce. Specifications, classified, interior layout, rumored, defense systems, unknown. This is the Russian way, power wrapped in mystery. What we do know paints an intriguing picture. Length, approximately 192 feet. Shorter than Air Force One, but purpose-built for endurance. Range, reportedly over 7,500 miles, nearly matching its American counterpart. 4 Aviat-Vigatel PS-90 engines provide the thrust. The IL-96 was specifically modified for presidential use, reinforced, upgraded, transformed. But here's the twist. Putin doesn't rely on one aircraft. He has a fleet. Multiple IL-96. Decoys, backups, redundancy. You never truly know which plane carries the Russian president. It's strategic ambiguity in motion. Where America broadcasts strength, Russia cultivates doubt. The Kremlin releases minimal information. No detailed tours, no public specifications. Journalists don't get backstage access. What flies in Russian airspace stays Russian. This isn't weakness, it's doctrine. In Putin's world, mystery is a weapon. Uncertainty breeds caution, and caution keeps enemies guessing. We've seen the philosophies. Now let's get technical. When engineers sit down with blueprints and physics, what actually separates these two aerial giants? The answer lies in the numbers. Size and engineering. So we have two philosophies, two approaches. But when metal meets sky, philosophy gives way to physics. Let's strip away the politics and look at what actually flies. Size matters in aviation, not for ego, but for capability. Air Force One, based on the Boeing 747-200B platform, is a monster. That 231-foot length isn't just for show. It translates to internal volume, to operational space, to the ability to carry an entire mobile government. The wingspan stretches 195 feet, creating massive lift surface. Maximum takeoff weight, 833,000 pounds. It's a flying building. The four GE CF680C 2B1 engines don't just move the aircraft. They command it through any weather, any altitude, any crisis. Putin's IL-96-300PU takes a different engineering path. At 192 feet long with a 197-foot wingspan, it's slightly shorter, but nearly as wide. Maximum takeoff weight, around 600,000 pounds. Lighter, more agile. The Russian engineers designed this aircraft for different priorities: efficiency over size, autonomy over alliance. Those four PS-90 engines burn Russian fuel, maintained by Russian technicians, following Russian doctrine. No supply chain vulnerabilities, no foreign dependencies. If sanctions hit, if borders close, this plane still flies. That's strategic engineering. But here's what matters most. Both aircraft achieve the same fundamental mission: global reach. Both can cross continents without refueling. Both can stay airborne for crisis-level durations. One is bigger, one is leaner. Neither backs down. But engineering specs only tell you what these machines can do. To understand what they actually are, you need to step inside. Beyond the cockpit doors lie worlds designed for ultimate power and ultimate comfort. Inside the Sky Palaces. Dimensions and engines tell only half the story. The real battle happens inside, where power is exercised, decisions are made, and nations are run from above the clouds. Step through the door of Air Force One, and you enter a different world. The forward section houses the presidential suite: private office, bedroom, bathroom with shower, real wood paneling, presidential seal woven into the carpet. This isn't commercial luxury, this is sovereign territory at 40,000 feet. Behind that, a conference room doubles as a situation room, secure communications, video conferencing with Pentagon-grade encryption. The president can authorize military strikes, sign legislation, conduct diplomacy, all while crossing time zones. Further back, senior staff offices, press areas, seating for Secret Service. Over 70 people can fly aboard. It's a mobile White House. Now consider Putin's airborne domain. Details are murky, but leaks and reports paint a vivid picture. Gold, lots of it. Gold-plated fixtures in the private cabin. A bedroom larger than most hotel suites, rumored to include a full-size office with ornate Russian craftsmanship. Wood inlays, leather furniture, secure satellite systems. Some reports suggest a dedicated gym. Unlike the American model, which balances function and symbolism, Putin's aircraft leans heavily into luxury. This is a Tsar's chariot redesigned for the jet age. The contrast is philosophical. Air Force One is designed to be seen, photographed, understood. Putin's jet is designed to impress those who enter and keep everyone else guessing. But luxury and power mean nothing if the aircraft can't survive. These aren't just executive jets. They're designed to fly through the apocalypse. Let's talk about what keeps them alive when everything goes wrong. Defense and survival. Luxury means nothing if you can't survive. And both of these aircraft were built expecting the worst. Air Force One isn't just armored. It's a fortress disguised as a passenger jet. The hull is reinforced with military-grade materials designed to withstand blasts. Windows are multi-layered, bulletproof, and sealed against chemical or biological attacks. The aircraft can function as a bunker in the sky. Electronic countermeasures are embedded throughout. Systems designed to jam enemy radar, deflect missiles, confuse targeting systems. Flares chaff. Classified defensive technology the public will never fully know. On board, secure communication systems connect directly to nuclear command infrastructure. If Washington falls, Air Force One becomes the capital. The engines can run on a range of fuel types. Redundancy is built into every system. Putin's IL-96 operates under similar survival doctrine, but with Russian characteristics. Reports suggest advanced electronic warfare suites, jammers, decoys, infrared countermeasures. The aircraft allegedly carries anti-missile systems comparable to military bombers. Armor plating protects critical zones. Communications are encrypted using Russian algorithms immune to Western interception. Some intelligence sources claim the jet includes an escape capsule, a detachable section that can separate and parachute to safety in catastrophic scenarios. Unconfirmed, but very Russian. Both nations understand the same truth. These planes must survive nuclear war, terrorist attacks, coordinated strikes. They are not just transports. They are lifeboats for leadership. Survival isn't optional. It's the primary design requirement. All this protection, all this technology, all this capability, none of it comes cheap. In fact, the price tags attached to these flying palaces are almost as shocking as the aircraft themselves. The price of power. All of this capability, all of this protection, all of this flying sovereignty, it comes at a staggering price. Let's talk about what these metal giants actually cost. The current Air Force One fleet consists of two VC-25A aircraft purchased in the early 1990s. The initial cost, approximately $660 million for both. But that's just the beginning. Operating costs are astronomical. Every hour in the air costs an estimated $200,000. Fuel, maintenance, crew salaries, security logistics, it all adds up. Annual operating budget for the fleet exceeds $200 million. And Trump pushed for replacements. New Air Force One aircraft based on the Boeing 747-8 are under construction. Projected total cost? Over $5 billion. Yes, billion. That includes modifications, defensive systems, custom interiors, and developmental delays. It's the most expensive presidential transport project in American history. Putin's costs? Far murkier. Russia doesn't publish presidential aircraft budgets. The IL-96-300PU's base price as a commercial aircraft would be around $50 to $60 million. But modifications for presidential use? Unknown. Defense systems, luxury interiors, classified technology, all hidden behind Kremlin accounting. Estimates from defense analysts suggest total costs between $300 to $500 million for the fleet. But these are guesses. Russia's military budgets are opaque. What's spent on presidential aviation gets buried in broader defense allocations. One nation publicly debates every dollar, the other keeps costs classified. Different systems, different accountability, same commitment to keeping their leaders airborne. But the real difference isn't in the dollars or the defense systems. It's in what these aircraft represent. Because every rivet, every line of code, every design choice tells a story about the nations that built them. Symbolism and philosophy. But beyond the budgets, beyond the engineering specifications, beyond the gold-plated fixtures and missile defense systems, these aircraft represent something deeper. They are not just machines. They are mirrors reflecting the nations that built them. Air Force One is transparency weaponized. Every detail is documented, photographed, celebrated. American presidents hold press conferences aboard. Journalists fly in the rear section. The world watches takeoffs and landings on live television. This openness is intentional. It says, we are powerful enough to show you everything and still remain untouchable. Democracy flies in daylight. The aircraft's very visibility projects confidence. When Air Force One lands in a foreign capital, everyone knows. The message is clear. America has arrived. Putin's approach writes a different narrative. Secrecy is strength. Mystery breeds respect. The Kremlin doesn't invite cameras into the presidential cabin. Specifications remain classified. Even which aircraft carries the president stays ambiguous. This isn't insecurity, it's strategy. In Russian doctrine, what your enemy doesn't know protects you more than what they fear. The IL-96 doesn't need to be flashy. It needs to be effective, survivable, independent. It represents self-reliance. No foreign parts, no external dependencies. A nation that can build, maintain, and operate its own presidential fleet answers to no one. So after examining every angle, every system, every dollar, we return to the question that started this journey. Which aircraft truly dominates the skies? The verdict. So which one wins? The question itself misses the point. This was never about which aircraft flies faster, higher, or farther. It's about what each nation values when power takes flight. Air Force One dominates through presence. It's built to be seen, recognized, admired, and sometimes feared. When that blue and white giant touches down, the world takes notice. It's democracy's chariot. Transparent, documented, unapologetic. The American president doesn't hide in the sky. He commands it publicly. Every gallon of fuel, every dollar spent, debated in Congress and reported in newspapers. This is leadership performed in full view. Putin's IL-96 wins differently. It wins through doubt, through autonomy, through calculated silence. No dependencies, no vulnerabilities exposed. Russian engineering carrying Russian leadership under Russian terms. The mystery isn't a weakness, it's armor. Enemies can't target what they don't fully understand. Rivals can't exploit supply chains that don't exist. This is power that doesn't need applause. It needs only results. Two men, two flying fortresses. One painted in openness, the other cloaked in shadow. Neither inferior, neither backing down. Because in the end, Air Force One and its Russian counterpart aren't just about transportation. They're about belief systems taking physical form at 40,000 feet. And as long as nations compete, these sky palaces will keep flying, carrying not just presidents, but the weight of empires.